Our good buddy Cory Hogue, our small college insider here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, stopped by to talk a little bit of small college football, big games this week and on the horizon. We talk a little bit of realignment. Remember, this was before the latest news.
Yeah.
So, by the way, while this interview is playing, and it's 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
While that's happening, 3 more teams are going to change conferences. So just know that it's just going to happen inevitably. Anyway, here's our conversation with small college insider Cory Hogue here on Texas Football Today.
The college football season rolls on here in the state of Texas, and nobody covers small college football in the state of Texas like our own small college insider Cory Hogue, who joins us in studio. Welcome in, buddy.
It is great to finally be back in studio.
It's been a minute.
It has been a while.
It's been a second. All right, I want to talk big picture and then narrow it down. So let's talk big picture. Last time we were really talking in earnest about small college football. On this program, we were talking with Texas A&M Commerce, athletic director Tim McMurray, who is in here celebrating their big announcement. They're moving to the Division I, leaving the Lone Star Conference to move up to Division I. Let's talk about the other side of that. Where does that leave the Lone Star Conference as far as realignment is concerned?
It's all up in the air right now. No one really knows what's going to happen. We know that the WAC is still not settled now because Sam Houston is reportedly moving up to Conference USA, and Brett McMurphy saying by the end of the week. And I'm not even able to get confirmation on that. That stuff is really hidden right now. So that could leave the Lone Star Conference in even more flux. And honestly, some of the schools either need to jump on that FCS bandwagon or get off, because I don't see the Lone Star Conference surviving this unless they change a division somewhere.
The last time you and I saw each other was at Lone Star Conference Media Days, and we had a conversation about that, about how it felt like there were tremors of change there in the Lone Star Conference, and it feels like, A&M Commerce may just be the first of a number of moves that may reshape exactly what the Lone Star Conference looks like. I mean, I hate to say it because we love our friends at the LSC, but if it exists into perpetuity at all.
And it really started with Tarleton. When Tarleton left, they were looking and searching to see who to bring in. They didn't find anyone just yet. And so now with Commerce leaving, it's really another big and then, of course, WT is being courted. MSU is being courted. There's possibilities of UTPB being courted as well. And any of these teams that stay D2 may end up having to go to like the RMAC. Because really the only possible expansion opportunities are down in NAI with Texas Wesleyan and Wayland Baptist and SAGU and some of those. And the desire to be at that level, it just doesn't seem to be lined up right now. That to me is the biggest question, is where does the conference want to align? And how can they find anyone to be with them?
So let's focus now, let's shift the focus now to on the field, what we've seen on the field. It strikes me that at the FCS ranks, as far as favorites are concerned, we thought it would be Sam Houston. They're looking the part. Yeah. Division III, we thought it would be Mary Hardin, Baylor, and Hardin Simmons in some sort of order. It's been there. Division II is where you've had a little bit of chaos, a little bit of shakeup. Midwestern State rising to the top. So I guess my question is, when you take a look at the whole landscape of small college football, is it fair to say that most of the favorites have so far lived up to their billing?
They have. Sam Houston's still number one. They're rolling every week. It's almost a machine what the Bearcats are doing, just every week dismantling people and taking their will away and then backing off the gas and resting guys. What they do is just incredible. UIW this week, they have this week will determine their playoff fate. They either win the Southland to get in or they're out. And one more loss, they're out, because they've already got 2 losses this year. So they're playing Southeastern Louisiana. They're at home. This is a must-win game for the Cardinals. Midwestern State, they win 2 more, they're the champions. Yeah. And they're going to be in the regional playoffs. They will probably move up from number 4 where they were yesterday up to number 3 or 2 even possibly, host a game. But the question on that is, can they get through this week? They've got West Texas A&M. They do not play well in Canyon. Canyon has owned the Mustangs. And then they come home and they have UT Purvey and Basin. And we know there's a rivalry from Media Day really building up there. And I still hear it from both sides. That's going to be just a heck of a game to try to get through. So there's a lot of questions there. And Commerce still controls there. If they beat Angelo State this weekend, they travel to Angelo. That's another playoff game. The winner still has a chance. The loser is eliminated. Although Commerce is going to have a tough time. They've got 3 Division II losses. That's hard to make the playoffs.
So those are the favorites. What about the surprises? Who are the teams that, I know you spent the whole offseason thinking about these teams. It's a bit of a shorter offseason for some than others. But which teams have overachieved in your mind so far this season?
I think Midwestern State. That's the number 1 team that has. The other one is Texas Wesleyan, dropping down to NAI. Man, what they do, what Jake Prudhomme has done with that place, 5 years.
They can score.
Yes, and they can play defense. Like in 5 years, he has resurrected that program, and they are going to new heights. They're a danger. They play Langston in a couple weeks. It would not surprise me to see them beat Langston. They don't have a shot at the playoffs this year because it's really hard to get into NAIA playoffs. And then another one, Howard Payne. Bellhaven got them. Hardin-Simmons got them. Mary Hardin-Baylor will get them this week. But that's the top level of the ASC right now. And for what Jason Bachtel has done there to get them up there, and it started before him too, because that program was started on the rise, but he's taken it and just shot off into a new level. They're starting to develop some rivalries.
Yeah, especially considering where they were to where they were expected to be to where they are now. I would say certainly Howard Payne. I think Prairie View's been a really nice surprise. That was a team that maybe from the outset we thought maybe a sleeper there in the SWAC, and now undefeated in SWAC play. Still got some big games down the road, but looking very good. Texas Southern too. I mean, we got to give some shout out to them because they've been. I mean, God bless them. They've been really bad for a long time. Now they're, they got Andrew Body in there and they're cooking a little bit.
Well, and with Prairie View, they were one of those teams I just wasn't sure of. They were good. Eric Dooley's a great coach, and he's done great things with them. But in the spring, they were not as good. But it looks like that was kind of building for the fall and what they've done this year. They're the favorites. They are now the favorites to be in the SWAC title game. They've got to be the favorite to beat Alcorn. There's no reason not to. And then what Texas Southern just needed a win.
Yeah.
That was all they needed. And they got that win, and they put up 59 last week. This team is incredible. And I knew Clarence McKinney would do well. He was really focusing on Houston, which I think you have to at Texas Southern. But man, that one win is all he needed, and that team, the confidence just shot up.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot for one last question, which is, right now, I want to hear your top 3 of who would be in the running for the Small College Player of the Year in Texas, okay? And there's a lot. I mean, here's the thing. I know I'm putting you on the spot. This is not fair. I want to recognize that. But I want to hear maybe a top 2, top 3. Who are the guys that immediately spring to mind and be like, they got to be on that short list of Texas College Football Player of the Year?
I think you got to start with Eric Schmid. But then Sam Houston has a group, Ramon Jefferson. And I mean, Ezra hasn't had the greatest, but he's been injured some. Goodness gracious, Cam Ward at UIW, how good he has been. You drop down to Division II, Kylan Harrison at MSU has just been so good. To go down Division III, I don't know that there's necessarily one player. Maybe Jake Parker.
Yeah.
Jake Parker at times, but he's kind of been double and triple teamed here the last few weeks.
The Stephen F. Austin wide receiver, who
Xavier Gibson.
Xavier Gibson has been incredible.
Xavier Gibson is he's a highlight reel every single week. He is going to put up big numbers. And another one, Jordan Barlow at Sagu. Yeah. He is just throwing that ball everywhere, and he's got a running back that's also, they put up numbers that's incredible. Keaton Dudick is just insane there at Sagu.
He's Cory Hogue. He's our small college insider here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Find his fine work at texasfootball.com. Cory, appreciate you stopping by, man, talking a little small college football.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to have to come back. Playoffs are starting here within 1 to 3 weeks, depending on your level.
You know where we live.
I do. I'll find you.
There he is, Cory Hogue, our buddy. Small college insider here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, talking all things small college football. You can find his fine work at texasfootball.com/recruiting. Some of our best content is the small college stuff. I think that's
it's completely unique.
All of our staff. I love all of our staff members and all of our contributors equally. You're all wonderful. But I think that if you're one of the things that I'm pretty proud of in the last few years is I think that we've kind of become one of the few places where you can get quality coverage of small college football in Texas, and that's something I'm proud of, and Cory's a huge, massive part of that, and so if you like that kind of stuff, texasfootball.com, go there and
real fast shout out to Mrs. Hogue because she brought baked goods.
Do you have any of it?
Not yet. No,
Not yet.
that was on
Okay.
the agenda for after lunch today.
She's Alicia. Her baking is
Be careful.
You know what? You know who's going to be mad at me when I say this?
Be
Is
careful.
Max Thompson.
Oh,
Okay.
snacks.
She's the best baker I know.
Ooh, okay.
She's better than Max.
I also just love that like you were most worried about Max and not like
Well, I
your
was trying to-
mother-in-law or you know that's just
my mother.
you know
my
grandma.
My mother-in-law and my mom and are solid bakers and stuff like that. This is next level.
Yeah.
When you have that, it'll be.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.